If you have been making amigurumi and you are struggling with colour changes or colour work in general, then this is the video for you. I am going to run through 3 colour changes from easy to a little bit more complicated to give you a few options that are going to work for you when changing colour with amigurumi. No fuss, no faff, let's get cracking and get into the very first and the easiest colour change.
So our first colour change is really simple, and this can be applied to if you have rows or if you're working in the round. What you want to do is you want to get to where your last stitch or where you want to change colour is going to be, and you're just going to work half of the stitch. So for this I'm doing double crochets UK term, and I'm just going to pull my loop through so there's 2 loops on my hook. And then what you want to do is you want to get your new colour, because we are going to finish the stitch with our new colour, and that will be how you colour change. So grab your new colour and just make a loop with it. You don't need to do a slip knot or anything like that. And just grab that loop with your hook and pull that new colour through those 2 loops that are on your hook to finish that stitch, and that will be your colour change. And then you can just carry on working your rows or your rounds in that new colour. Now this is the easiest way. I use this all of the time. It's the easiest way to change colour. However, as you will see in a minute, it can be a noticeable colour change. So if you're just starting colour work, or you're just starting to use different colours in things like amigurumi or in your projects, then this is probably going to be the easiest way for you to learn. However, as you will see, it is a more noticeable way of changing colour. Now the next 2 ways coming up are more seamless ways, so stay tuned if you want to know how to change colour seamlessly.
So our second colour change is a little bit more complicated, however it is guaranteed to give you a seamless finish. So this is the one for you if you don't want those steps in the colour change to show in your amigurumi. Carry on watching because I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to achieve it.
So this is more of a seamless colour change, and what you're going to do is at the end of your row or at the end of your round, the first thing you are going to do is change your colour in exactly the same way as we just did before. So when you get to that last stitch, so this is my last stitch, you're going to work half of the stitch with the 2 loops on your hook, and then you're going to bring in your new colour to change the colour. So finish that stitch off with your new colour and pull it through your 2 loops. And then the difference here is to start the next round or the next row, you need to slip stitch and then carry on working with your new colour. So slip stitch and carry on working with your new colour all the way around. Now the seamlessness of this isn't shown until you get to the end of the round. So I'm working up to the end of the round. I'm going to show you exactly how this is seamless, because you made that slip stitch to start with, and instead of joining, what you're going to do is just work into that slip stitch to start your new round. And you'll see when we work into that slip stitch, instead of joining and just working straight into the slip stitch to start the new round, that our colour change will be seamless. So no step ups or anything like that, a completely seamless change.
And finally, our third colour change. Now this one can be a little bit faffy, but again, it gives you a seamless colour change, and it's great if you're doing something like a commission or you're selling your plushies as well. Let's dive into colour change number 3, and then you can let me know which one is your favourite.
Now this final technique to me is a little bit faffy, because it involves doing half the stitch with one colour and half the stitch with your new colour all the way around. So yes, again, it's a seamless colour change, but it just is a little bit more effort. So what we are going to do is we are going to change colour, and you're going to do half the stitch with your old colour, and then you're going to pick up and do half the stitch with the new colour. And then you're going to do, but that's going to be all the way around. So once you've done that, you're going to go back to doing half a stitch with the old colour, like so. And then when you've done that half a stitch, you're going to finish that stitch with your new colour. Now, yes, this is completely seamless, but it just isn't it doesn't add anything to the other technique that I showed you that was also seamless. So it's completely up to you which technique you want to choose. For me, this can take a little bit longer because you're working with 2 yarns. But if you want your yarns to be in the same place when you change colour, so if you want to carry your yarns or anything like that, this can be the technique that you use. To me, no easier than the last technique. Not the greatest, but there are people that use this technique, I know that, and there are people that will swear by it. Let me know which you think is easier. Do you use this technique, and am I just missing a trick? But it's just not the one for me, and that's fine. Each to their own. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and if this works for you, then keep on using it. I will say that you can use this technique if you don't want to have a slip stitch in your round, because I know for a lot of people slip stitches can be harder to work into. So this is going to be the one if you don't want to have that slip stitch in your round. Now let's see what it's going to look like at the end, because I just want to show you that it still is a seamless finish, but you're just starting with your colour that you want to change into. When you get to the end of that round and you start your new round, then just drop the old colour and carry on working with your new colour, and you will see that it is a seamless finish, just a little bit more faffy. So you can see almost seamless. I just had a little bit there where I went a bit wayward, but you wouldn't tell that if it was a technique that I was used to. Let me know what you think. Is this the way to go, or is it just a bit of extra work for not a lot of value?
And that is our 3 colour change options. Let me know which one is your favourite. Personally, I always use the first option, although I will start using the second option as well to give my amigurumis a more seamless finish. I use the first option because it's the easiest. If you have any other ways to change colour, I want to hear about them. So drop them in the comments and let me know. Am I missing something? Is there a skill that I haven't learned when it comes to changing colour? Because every day is a school day. New videos go up every Wednesday and Sunday, and if there is another crochet or amigurumi technique that you would love to learn, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.